the development of Christianity, because we're on a Christian podcast,
and we already mentioned that, right? We talked about
a little bit
about heresy, right?
Yes, we talk about it. It was so interesting to me because one of the things I would say to anyone who is a Christian, if you can take a course on the history of Christianity, then take it. If you can take a course of the history, like for example, I did History of Christianity 1 and 2, and I learned so much about my faith that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? And there were many times questions arose about like the scripture, about various groups, and I don't know where I would get my answers from. They were probably just made up answers that I have, and I just like, for example, the Bible, right? Where I grew up, there's this idea that the Bible was created by white man, and the white man created the Bible as a means of oppression. So it's the colonization of the people, and the Bible was the tool by which they used to conquer the people. And I mean that can be said that the Bible was used to, like we just talked about, the name of God was used to do many atrocious things to people. But in the sense of the scripture, one of the things that I learned in the class was the aggregation of texts, of how it actually developed from below. Yeah. That's kind of like a concept that you really brought forward in the class. You want to talk about that a little bit, like
so
the development of the scripture itself?
I mean, there are some people who think that the development of early Christianity was just a top-down process. So Constantine is basically responsible for everything, right? Right. But Christianity, in terms of doctrine and scripture, had been developing way before Constantine. It was a long process, right? And before Constantine, you have, which is in the 4th century, you have a process of consolidation when it comes to the development of doctrine and scripture. It took time, but even before the church gained, so when I say Constantine, I mean the time when the church had political power. Yeah,
became centralized.
When the Roman Empire became Christian. Right. And the church could have political power. Before that, it had no political power. Right. So the conspiracy argument is that, or whatever you want to call it, the top-down argument is that everything in terms of doctrine and the development of scripture happened after the church gained political power, after Constantine. But if you look at the history of it, that was actually a long process of consolidation that happened before Constantine. So for example, when Constantine commanded that the production of a large volume of codices, which was a type of type of Bible. So basically, Constantine said, "We're going to produce all these Bibles, and we're going to distribute them,